So we're just wrapping things up, and I just was talking to Gerald, and he said the car's name is Vance, and the uniqueness of that is Vance was the original owner. So this is a tribute to Vance. Welcome to another edition of The Story Behind the Car. We're with Gerald and Arleen, and this is your 1965 Ford Mustang 2+2. And when we were talking before I turned the camera on, you said it had a unique story. What is the unique story about this vehicle?
I think the unique story is that
you're going to have to really hold that close because you're a soft speaker.
Okay. This is my grandfather's car.
Okay.
And so it's been a one-family owner, and then it got passed to my father, and he finally handed it off to Gerald and I.
And so your grandfather bought it new?
He bought it brand new. Yeah, it was the first 2x2 sold in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And then it lived in Texas and Indiana with my dad for about 20 years, and now it's here with us.
And Gerald, this is probably a question for you. What is the significance of the 2+2?
That's the way the seats in the back worked.
Okay.
So you could fold those down. It would just be a two-seater. So there was the poor man's car in the 1960s. So
Yes.
he had a sports car with a two-seater.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, he could put the seats back up and bring the kids to church.
Yeah. And do you mind if we open the door?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. And you guys are both in witness protection program, or just you, Gerald?
All of us.
And I won't show your face because you asked me not to. And is this the original interior?
Yes, it's an original interior. These are cloth seats.
Okay.
It's pretty rare to have the cloth seats in this configuration.
Yeah.
It was built in the San Jose plant.
Okay. And I need to ask about the paint. Is that original paint?
It is original paint.
Wow.
Everything on the car in the interior is original. The paints are original. The only things that we've updated but kept them within specs are, mechanical type things underneath the car to keep it safe.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Engine and that type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. And I know before we started shooting, you said it had a 289. So we'll check that out in a minute.
Correct.
And do you fold the seat back down in the back very often, or?
I like it that way.
Yeah.
But Arleen likes the two up.
Yeah, it is such a cool look when the seat's down. And so your father gifted it to you, and how long have the two of you had it?
We've had it almost 2 years.
Okay.
And when we got it, we basically rescued it from his barn. He really hadn't done much to it. So my grandfather kept it in immaculate shape. And then it kind of sat in the barns in Texas and Indiana and rotted away a little bit for 20 years. And so we trailered it from Texas, brought it back home here, and have spent the last year and a half getting barn gunk off the paint.
Yeah.
And then working on the interior.
So do you have any interesting stories growing up with the car?
Yes. Well, I had told my dad, because I do have a brother, I told my dad, no, I deserve this car because I'm the one that you would drop me off at Grandpa's house on the weekends, and if he had a car show, he would make me sit there with a toothbrush cleaning the interior carpet. And
Wow.
then driving to the car show, I wasn't allowed to touch anything or put my feet on the carpet. And then once we got there, I had to polish the hubcaps and the chrome and not talk and move.
And so your grandfather, was he a car guy, I guess?
He was. And it was one of the first cars registered with the Mustang Club.
Holy
he has
cow.
tons of trophies. It's got a good history.
Yeah. Your grandfather must have been a pretty cool guy.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a mechanic, so
Okay.
he knew how to take care of it.
Yes. And he lived out in the Southwest, and then your father lived in Texas, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you grew up in Texas then?
I grew up in New Mexico, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and he moved there later in life.
So having the first 30 years of this car's life in the Southwest really helped with the rust situation.
Yeah, it's it's amazing condition. And can we see the hood?
Sure.
Okay, I'll back out of the way and. I do want to shoot the badging and then the 289.
Yes, and all those are original. I think living in a barn kind of helped the paint situation on the blue and red on the car.
Wow, it is so cool to see an engine in this condition because so often you see them and you could eat off of it. And this is in the original condition. Yeah. Not that it's not clean, I don't mean it that way. It's just, it really is impressive.
No, this was his everyday car. It's got 124,000 miles on it. And he put a majority of those miles on it. It worked.
Yeah.
And he wanted it driven and driven hard. He let me actually learn how to drive on this thing a little bit.
So the things we've had to replace, obviously, is the shocks.
Okay.
And to really get the car running, we did have to replace the cylinder heads.
Okay.
So those are aluminum heads, not the original cast irons.
Okay,
But we have the original cast irons in the basement to one bay rebuild. But it is difficult to find a really good mechanic that can rebuild those right. And we were, 8, 12 weeks out. And we want to enjoy the car.
Yeah.
So we went with stock style aluminum heads and called it good.
Yes.
That's what we wanted to do. And obviously this was new because the radiator, but I kept the original 2-core. So if someone wants to rebuild those, they could put it back in.
It's amazing how small it is for a 289.
Well, and that's why it's hard to find the 2-cores because as soon as later years came out with the 3-cores, everyone swapped them out.
Yes.
Because they weren't sufficient to cool these cars. And this part down here that goes to the side against the the exhaust heads.
Yes, manifold.
Yeah, the manifold is what it does when it's cold. It will draw the cold air against the exhaust manifold and bring it into the carburetor. There's actually a little flap in there that moves back and forth, and when it cools down, and when it gets hot, it will then draw the cool air in.
Wow.
Many times on these cars, you will not see these parts. The guys just said, it's not worth it. Every time I got to replace the plugs, I got to pull it off.
Yeah.
Grandpa obviously kept it on there, and that little thermostat in there works. It flaps back and forth after 60 years.
Yeah. And like you say, they probably changed in the plugs, removed it, and some people just forgot about it. And then when they, I'll get it later, and then later never happened.
And this one came out right before emissions, so it still has the draft pipe down at the street.
Okay.
So no PVC or pressure control valve on this one. Right to the street.
Beautiful. And I'm going to slide around and just to shoot the other side. It's amazing how much room is in here as well.
Right.
Without all the pollution crap. Yeah. Emission stuff.
What is amazing, if you would put an air conditioner on this car, it would mount here against the cylinder heads.
Yes.
And it's almost like the size of the engine originally. It would take up this entire bay right here.
Yes. Yeah, the compressor.
Yes.
Yeah. Just an amazing, it's a time capsule.
It is. When we got it from the barn and we opened the interior, it just smelled like an old Mustang.
Yes.
And the inside is really a time capsule. The engine needed a lot of cleaning and a lot of work and a lot of elbow grease. But our whole thing was we wanted to restore it to original. And we're not putting anything on it that isn't within the Ford specs, which takes a lot of research on Gerald's part to find that stuff. And just trying to repair and not touch it. We're just trying to honor the car and Vance.
And Grandpa's.
And your grandfather,
Yeah.
So you talked about when you were a child and you would help. What is your favorite memory with the two of you? And not necessarily in ownership, maybe when your dad had it, but what is your favorite story behind the car?
I think right now, for me, my favorite thing was when our adult son, and our son-in-law, and Gerald were all under the front. It was lifted and they were replacing stuff, and you just see 3 legs, one coming out from the front, legs on the side. And I thought, I just started to cry, and I thought, you know what, this is what I wanted from this car, was it to continue with the kids and to build memories, restoring and showing it.
Wow.
So that was very cool.
Yeah, that's I don't know that you can top that, but do you have a favorite memory since the two of you have been around the car?
Yeah, so going back to, I did go visit Vance. I knew him, well, obviously when we were dating back many, many, many years ago.
Yes.
And he did bring it to a car show, and he just loved it. But it was very interesting, all these old guys, the bickering at these car shows back in the day.
Yeah.
And there was controversies over the battery.
Okay.
Because Autolite had gone out of business. So what was the appropriate battery to the time? And it cost a lot of money, and people would take fake batteries and put them in there, and they were bickering over it. They took their car shows very seriously back in the 90s.
Yeah. And nowadays it seems like a lot of the older Corvette guys are that way. Everything has to be original, and they pick out, I won't say what they pick out because I'll keep my language clean.
Right.
Wow. Okay, and going forward, any plans? You were talked about maintaining and honoring the car and honoring your grandfather, and
I think we were discussing this morning that we want to get it back on the road and maybe do national shows and just share it, because you don't see too many originals that just haven't been altered in any way.
Yes.
And getting a trailer, protecting it that way, taking it on the road when you retire, and doing that a few times. And now our children are bickering amongst themselves on who it'll be passed to.
that was going to be my next question. Yes, Family Feud.
Family Feud. And so we have a granddaughter, so we're like, there you go. Neither one of you kids are getting it. The granddaughter's getting it.
No.
But
Problem
My
solved.
immediate thing is I have a squeak. Obviously, these cars are designed to be run.
Yes.
So not squeaking over the winter, things settle. So I got to go figure out where my brand new front end we put in is squeaking again.
Yes.
Squeaking, that's, if you don't run them, that's a danger, is not running these
Yeah.
things. So it's a balance between trying not to wear out this car,
Yes.
but it needs to be run.
Yes.
And then immediately after that, I think we want to put a dual bowl brake master cylinder for safety.
For safety, yeah. Yeah, that is amazing looking. And this is just crazy.
Yeah.
This car is just amazing.
Yep.
But-
And even the trunk has got the original liner. I went to clean all the gunk out of it, and it started crumbling. And I was like, okay, it's just going to stay dirty because...
And we have the original spare tire in there too.
Can we take a look at the trunk?
Sure.
And then we're going to have to ask you to start it up too. Well, this is a far greater story than you said it had a great story. I had no idea it was this great. Oh, wow. And this is all original as well.
Correct.
Holy cow. And the original spare, look at that. With the bias-ply and a whitewall at that.
And wonderful 14-inch tires.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And when you go to like Mustang shows, do the hardcore Mustang guys just die over this because it's all original?
Yes, we've had a few of them just actually not believe us.
Yes.
And what I need to do a better job on, I think, is getting just some signs, because people look at it and they're like, oh, it's cool. And then when they find out, no, it's the original paint. It's
Yes.
the original. Then they stop and take a moment to really take it in.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I was at the Easter car show, and two brothers had a Cobra that was all original, and it was their father's car. And it was worth over $1 million at the time, but it was all original, everything.
Wow.
Original engine, it had the 289 in it, and just amazing. And a time capsule, and this is as well.
Right.
No, I didn't even think about the fact that you got to go in this way as well. Yeah, I'm with you, Gerald. I would fold down the seat and enjoy that look personally.
Well, and we do a majority of the time just to protect the seats.
Yes, from the sun. And
Right. Oh, yeah, it's always garaged, always covered, always protected. There's rubber mats that go around it,
yeah,
because I honestly don't want to be the generation that messes up the body.
Yes.
It's coming this long. I don't want to be the one.
Yeah, I think about that with the Anheuser-Busch family, the Busch family, and you're the generation that lost the brewery.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
To put
I
it
don't
in
want to be that person.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't want to be the person that
Heck
loses the
no.
brewery.
Yeah. Well, can we hear the engine?
Yes, I'll start it up.
Please. And I'll stay back here, and then I'll move to the front to look at the engine in a second, Gerald.
Okay.
And dual exhaust. What a beautiful sound. And I got to check the engine out. Oh, it's like a sewing machine. What is your favorite feature or thing about the car that we haven't spoken about?
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I mean, all of it is kind of unique. I like the gold in the engine.
Yeah.
I think I like that it is showing some age and that it's not perfect.
Yes.
Because it just shows it's authentic.
Yeah. Just like us, we're finally showing our age.
That's right.
That's what
That is
American
right.
Pickers calls patina.
Yes. This is genuine patina here.
Yeah.
This is not faux patina. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, before we shut the camera off, anything that I should have asked about or anything that we haven't covered?
Goodness. I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so.
Well, thank you so much for telling us the story behind your car, sharing your car, and thank you for your time.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity to share it with more than just our family.
Yes.
So thank you.
Well, thank you.